Okay, good morning, everybody. Our subject is, our module is wireless network technologies. And I am the lecturer, Tilak De Silva. You can go and search me in the Google Sheet, T-I-L-A-K, Tilak De Silva, right? So I am a founder lecturer of SLATE. When SLATE started in the year 2000, so I was the lecturer of the data communication subject of the SLATE. Since then, I am teaching in the SLATE. Now I am teaching only the master's program. So I have about 30 years experience in the industry, more than 35 years in the experience in the industry. I passed out from University of Moratuwa in 1983 as the electronic and telecommunication graduate, BSc engineering graduate. After that, I joined Sri Lanka Telecom. So I held many positions: head of IP, head of security, chief network officer, chief innovation officer. Then I retired in 2018, and now I am the chairman of the Engineering Council Sri Lanka. So that is the regulatory body of the engineers in Sri Lanka. It's a government body. So I have the experience in many areas: telecommunication, satellite communication, information technology, information security, cyber security, all these areas. And in Sri Lanka Telecom, I am the person computerize all the systems. Billing system, HR system, finance system, the inventory control system, everything I finalized, and I implemented the all island intranet for Sri Lanka Telecom in 1990s. Those days there were not much networks in the world, and I introduced the fiber to the home. So I started that project package in Sri Lanka Telecom. Now it is everywhere. You can see the fiber optic is going to home. So that is my background. You can go to the LinkedIn and see me, or you can go to my website, abcd.lk. abcd.lk. That's the first four letters, ABCD. Right? Okay, that's about me. And if you have a question, we can put it to the chat box. We'll start our journey. I will share with you our module descriptor first. Okay, this is the module descriptor. You can see the shared document. No? Okay, Rovindu, can you see the document?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So this course reflects the fundamentals of wireless communication starting from basic. Thereafter, there will be the evolution of the mobile communication. Actually, I will teach you the fundamentals. Then these are the learning outcomes. Explore the wireless local area networks. Explore the evolution of mobile communication. 4G LTE and the 5G also. Infrastructure requirement, explore the future trends of wireless communication. And you will be given 3 assignments. You don't have final exam here. Assignment 1, it's MCQ questions. You will get 20%. You will get 100 marks. when I'm calculating the final marks, you will get 20% of that one. And assignment 2 will be a group assignment. So you will get 50. These percentages I may change, but for the time being, these are the percentage, weightage actually. And assignment 3 mainly coming from the mobile communication. So we have lecture hours 28 to 30 hours. So we have 3 tests. So these are the books you can refer. Perusan Data Communication and Computer Networks book is there. Wireless Communication Networks for William Starlings. This data communication book you can download from the internet. And I have written 2 books. Actually, this was way back in 2000, first decade of the 2000. I wrote to sleep data communication 1 and 2 books. So those 2 books I have uploaded to the course web. And also this may be, it's in my website, abcd.lk. Okay. Give me one. So you can refer these 2 books, and also I will upload some materials from the internet and contains mainly these things. But this one I have to update also some. I will update and upload to the course web. Some changes to be done. Then I will go to the course plan. So this is our plan. So this is, since this is online lecture, I hope to do the lectures on every Saturday, even though it is holidays. So today is 28th. So start from 28th today. We are doing the introduction protocol, standards, these things. And next week we will do this one. Although 4th is this will be February. 4th is a holiday. I will do the lecture, and 11th this thing, and the 18th also holiday, but I hope to do the lecture. Because we have missed 1 class last week because of the inauguration. Then we have assignment 1, test 1, that is online MCQ test by the 5th week. Then we will discuss about the RFID, NFC, and wireless sensor networks. Then you have to design a network, which is a group assignment, and design and implement. Then you will have 1 guest lecture here, and you are doing this one. And in between there can maybe another guest lecture. And finally we do the mobile communication. So for this also we will get guest lecturer. Most probably at least 2 guest lectures are there, maximum 3 guest lectures are there. So this is our journey. I will give the foundation first about the wireless communication. Then after that we will go to the standards, wireless communication standards, then the applications, and finally the mobile communication. So 15th week I will keep standby where necessary. So assignment 1 is the basic concept of wireless network. Assignment 2, design wireless network. And assignment 3 is mobile communication, mainly mobile communication. Right? And this assignment 2 also, this time I hope to have a MCQ test. So altogether there will be 3 MCQ tests. So the final gradings are coming from the results of this MCQ test. Okay. Next, if you have a question, you can ask me. And your attendance will be taken from me. I will give you a small window to put your attendance. There you have to put your student number and the name in the attendance list. Right? Okay, any question you have? Any clarification before we start our journey?
So, sir, don't we have a final exam?
No.
Okay.
I think it's a big relief for you, no?
So it is, this module is the only report submission.
No, you have MCQs. One report, that is the group assignment report.
So how many members for the group?
4 to 5 members.
Okay.
And assignment 1, you have to submit a report actually, apart from the MCQ. Right? Any other questions?
So we can't enroll to the course.
Yeah, that will be sold.
Okay.
Okay. I'll start the class normally on time. So that is the part of your subject actually, punctuality. Because the most of you are employed, and in future you will go to higher positions. So apart from these technical things, you have to have the other the good disciplines on your job and also your attitudes. So I will try to give some input for those things also. As a lecturer, I think that is part of our duty, right? We want to make a very good, responsible, those who take accountability, good citizen to Sri Lanka, right? So I have a lot of experience, I can share it with you. And this subject, you will not be able to do from the past submissions. Previous courses you can see, but I am not doing the same thing again and again, right? And try to get some knowledge from this subject rather than getting a good grade. You have to get a good grade also. Along with good grade, get the knowledge. That is the final thing you will remain. Your grade is just a certificate. But normally what happens is in Sri Lanka, people know how to pass the exams with knowledge or without knowledge. Therefore, we have a lot of people with a lot of qualifications. But when they are going to work in the industry, practically, they cannot work. So they are not successful, right? Okay, that's all was preamble. Any question, further question? Somebody asked, this is the attendance sheet. This is not the attendance sheet. Whatever the things I will upload to I will give in the WhatsApp until the problem in the host web is solved. Okay. All questions, all problems now cleared? All clarifications? Attendance is must. I will keep personally this attendance. So I will give a time slot to put here. And listen to me what I am telling. Don't without listening, don't ask the same thing from as a question, right? I am giving a time slot to put the chat box to put here student number and the name there. So I will take it to Excel sheet and I will analyze it, right? When I am given the final grade, I will check the attendance. And also from the Zoom, I can monitor whether you were there, whether you were left. Those things also I can monitor. And also from the course web, I can see whether you have access to the course web and monitor have you referred those things, right? So all these statistics are there, but you can fool me also. You can just access to here. After that, you can go somewhere, and after that, you can exit from here. So that is not fooling me. Yeah, fooling yourself. Because finally, you don't get any knowledge. Right? Okay, I'll start the journey now. You can see there are 38 students. I think most students are there. So remember the final grading depends on the attendance. But finally, I want to give some knowledge to you. Right. What is this subject? What we are going to study? I'll use this sideboard. Whiteboard. You can see the whiteboard, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will try to give the perception of you are in a real class, right? So our network, our subject is wireless network technologies. Right? So what you are going to study from this subject? We know so nowadays everything is wireless. All devices are connected wireless. Many applications are there wireless. Now, about few years back, the computers in office were connected through a cable and computers were desktops. Now everything changed. Everybody is using laptops and they are connected from the wireless. Earlier, there was a separate unit to connect the wireless. It's an external unit connected to the computer, then only wireless connection comes. Now everything is embedded. In the initial stages, wireless speed was very low. Therefore, you cannot transfer many data there. Now the speed is very high. You can have the network, wireless networks as a personal area network. Or you can have a local area network. Or you can have a wide area network. There is another type called the metropolitan area network, MAN. But now practicing only the PAN, LAN, and WAN. Okay, can somebody say the example of a plan? What is a personal area network? Can you put it to the chat box? Personal area network. NFC. Okay. Gayan says NFC. Okay. I would like to others answers also. What is the personal area network? I am referring the wireless network. Only personal area networks are wireless. Sharon,
Bluetooth.
yes, Bluetooth. You can say it's a wireless, sorry, personal area network. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I can tell you the personal area networks are wireless networks which are working about maximum of 10 meters. Normally it is 10 meters. Okay. So you have Bluetooth, you have Zigbee. Likewise, some technologies are there. Most popular personal area network is the Bluetooth, right? You can see many applications are there with the Bluetooth, right? Therefore, studying of the personal area networks is very important. So therefore, I will cover the personal area networks in this subject, right? So then about the local area networks. Local area network, normal local area network, our laptop is connected to the network, that is local area network. So this can go about several meters, more than 10 meters. Sometimes it can go maybe 20 meters, 30 meters, depending on the environment and the infrastructure there, whether brick walls are there, concrete walls are there, like that. So I'm talking about the local area network. But the wired local area networks also there. So that is the Ethernet network. It will go about 100 meters length, right? Then can you say what is the standard, normally standard we are using for the local area networks? Standard. Just I want to see whether you have some idea. I am talking about the wireless local area network. So Kulesh says the cables, that is correct. If it is wired network, it's cable. I am asking the standard. So Gyan said Wi-Fi, yes, it's Wi-Fi, but there are standards. We have to follow standards. Yes, Shakti says IEEE. Yes, we are using IEEE standards. This also I say the Bluetooth. Bluetooth is, I told you, that the personal area network, not the local area network, right? I am asking the standard for the standard for the wireless local area network. TCP/IP is a protocol stack. Router is not a standard. Kulesh says router, it's not a standard. Okay, you put it should be interactive, then only you will get some knowledge. Okay, Gayan says the 802.11. Yes, very good. That is the standard we use, right? IEEE 802.11 is the wireless local area network standards we are using, right? Can somebody say the wired local area network standard? IEEE standard for wired local area networks, that is Ethernet. Okay, everybody please fill that Google form, then I can get some idea what is the area you are working and or teaching, and then I can get some idea about the knowledge level. Maybe the software engineering students are there, then I know they are networking knowledge may be a little less compared to the others. Right, yes, 802.3. Gayan says 802.3. Okay, Gayan, where are you working?
Actually, I'm a web administrator at LBO, Lanka Business Online.
You are working with the networks also?
Not really.
It looks you have good knowledge, right? Where did you study your first degree?
BCS, British Computer Society.
Okay, very good. Right, that is the local area networks. So we will study about the wireless local area networks, right? Then wide area net. I skip the metropolitan area network, the wide area networks. Wireless wide area networks. So wireless wide area networks is the mobile communication. Mobile, that is the mobile networks. 4G network, 3G network, 5G is coming. That is the wireless wide area network. So we will study this part also, right? Then, what is the use of studying these things, this wireless network technologies? Any use of that one? We have to apply this knowledge. Yes, Kulesh says that we can have a good office center. Please simulate the real class environment. Then only you will understand this thing properly, right? Yes, we can have a good office center. Yes, if you have the wireless network, yes, it is very easy. Your computer is connected network, your printer is connected network, the printer can be shared with others. Yes, that is one answer. Yes, good. Then what are the other applications? Now, if you go to the smart applications, it is in everywhere, connectivity. That is now say the agriculture. Agriculture, you have the smart agriculture. Then you have the sensors. So you are get the status of the agriculture of the plants from these sensors, right? Then you have the smart transportation, right? All the vehicles are connected to the network. We can monitor them. Likewise, we can see everywhere you have the connectivity. We have the networking. After the IoT sensors comes, now the many devices will be connected to the internet, right? So with the IoT sensors, lot of things are connected to the internet. And you can see the many applications are there. So you can see the your smartphone, smart mobile phone can be used as a wireless device. You have a lot of applications are there. All these are wireless. You can go to supermarket and you can make the payments from the. They are the technology I see for the near field communication. When you go to the smart agriculture, that is wireless sensor networks. And when you have your attendance systems, you can have RFID card. So therefore, we have to study about these things because these are the technologies you can connect. You need the connectivity there, right? So these are the applications of the wireless network. When you come to the mobile communication, so the wireless, when you want to connect it to wireless network, it should be a personal area network or the local area network. But if it is somewhere, say the jungle or somewhere, then you need the very big area to be covered wireless. For that, you can have only the mobile communication technologies. Now, earlier the people use the network, internet to communication. Now, the things are getting connected. So things are connected to the internet. Therefore, it is called the Internet of Things. Things are connected to the internet. As a result of that, things are communicating each other. So you know the autonomous car, the cars are communicating each other, vehicles are communicating each other, right? So once the other technology is also developed, for instance, the battery technology is developed. So flying vehicles is a reality. The flying vehicle biggest problem is there can be collisions. But if the vehicles can communicate each other and fly without getting collision, then you can have the flying vehicles. Therefore, along with the 5G and the 6G, that can become a reality. So therefore, maybe after about 15 years, 20 years, you will have the flying vehicles. So most probably I will not be available, but you might say, okay, one of the lectures, this was mentioned, right? You can say about 20 years back, one of our lecturers mentioned about this one. So these have become a reality. So everything is connected to the network, that is the internet. So therefore, understanding about the wireless network technologies is important, right? Okay, any question you have? I like to, from voice also. There are 44 students now. This is a very interesting subject. So when I was in the telecom, I introduced the attendance system. That is the first time in Sri Lanka in large organizations use this finger scan system for the attendance. So earlier we have to enter our number, service number, and put our finger. Then I was searching for better way, easy way. Then I got the RFID technology. So this was applied about 20 years back, maybe 20 or 25 years. So it's about 20 years back, Sri Lanka Telecom used the finger scan machines with the RFIDs, right? So these RFIDs, we can do a lot of things. And the question asked, sir, do we learn how to use wireless technology in IoT related applications in this module? Yes, the IoT is a sensor. So we will study about the sensor networks. So the sensor can be IoT sensor or any other sensor also, right? So you can think about many applications. You can have an entrepreneur with the wireless, the applications, for instance, the automation of the stores of a company. So that you can take the stock verification at any time. No need to wait until the end of year. Okay? That kind of things. Okay, any question? Is it clear everything?
So IP address is in here.
In here means?
IP address available for the wireless network technologies.
Yes, I will mention that the IP address is required, yes. Okay, ask any question. Don't say this may be a silly question like that. I am going to start from the very basics, right? So
Huh?
it's a, yes.
So along with the 5G or 6G, in future there are so many applications can come. In that criteria, the frequency part is affect for this technology.
Yes, it's a good question. The wireless network technologies, they are using the frequencies, right? Then the frequencies are there from Okay, I'll share the whiteboard. Yes, very good question. So you need a frequency. Frequencies can be from the 0 hertz to, then you can go to the kilohertz, then megahertz, then gigahertz. Even you can go to the terahertz. When you come to the optical, it is coming to the terahertz range. Optical communication. Right? When you come to the wireless network, the personal area networks and local area networks, it is in the gigahertz range. Right? So what is the frequency using in this Bluetooth? Anybody can say? Bluetooth? Okay. Wi-Fi? That is 2.4 gigahertz. Right? Very good practical questions you ask. What is your name?
Madhushi.
Where are you working?
In Virtusa, sir.
Hmm?
In Virtusa.
Oh, it's okay. So normally this is the frequency band we are using, the personal area networks and the local area networks, 2.4 gigahertz band, and we will discuss this, right? And our radio broadcasting, TV broadcasting, and the mobile communications, they are coming in the megahertz and the gigahertz range, right? Gigahertz also 1 gigahertz, 2 gigahertz, maximum 3 gigahertz range, right? So the low frequencies need very high power. Therefore, normally for the wireless applications, we are not using the low frequency. Then your question is do we have enough frequencies, so that do we need the frequencies for the 6G, 5G, etc.? Yes, we have to allocate some frequency. So frequency is a very limited resource to us. Then we have to see how to effectively utilize the frequency. The frequencies are issued by the Telecom Regulatory Commission in Sri Lanka. You have to get a license to use the frequency. Only frequency band without license you can use the 2.4 gigahertz. Right? So have you got the answer to your question?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay.
Also,
So-
sir, speaking about the spectrum, I heard that Dialog is shutting down their 3G network, so they can expand their 4G.
Yes.
So what about the SLT side? Is there an initiative for?
Yeah, these things are managed by the Telecom Regulatory Commission, and they might give a date to shut down the 2G networks, 3G network like that. Then that same frequency can be used for another new technology, maybe the 4G, 5G, right? So 3G shutdown means they may use it for the 4G, that frequency band. So SLT fixed line, they have the 4G, and the Mobitel is using the mobile communication part. So your question is the 3G, I don't think very immediately they shut down, because they have already invested a lot of money for 3G and they have to get the return. But in any case, if any mobile operator close down the 3G frequency band, that may be used for some other application of the mobile communication. Okay. You got
So,
the answer? Yeah.
Yeah. So why do you think Dialog is shutting down in this year?
Maybe it's economical to use them to go to maybe 4G. You can have more customers from within that frequency band. Now, when the technology is increasing, the frequency the efficiency of using the frequency band will be also increased. For instance, the particular band in the 2G can use for 100 users, 3G may use for 1000 users, 4G may use for several times of 1000. So like that, right? Okay. Is it clear?
So yeah, so will be there any disadvantage for them to shut down 3G? I mean, specifically.
Oh, they don't. They should have some business model. No?
Mhm.
So they should not have any disadvantage. For the they study and take
So-
these decisions. Yes.
Yeah. So for Mobitel or SLT, we are speaking. What is the position? I mean, why they are not shutting down their 3G network this year?
No, we can't say the 3G. As I told you, already big investment is made. No, any mobile operator, if they have a 3G network, then they have to get the return. If they think, okay, keep in this 3G band for some time, if it is advantage to us, they might use it. So it's a business model, actually. Right? Okay. Then I think I gave the answer to your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
So, what is the wireless size limit from the SLT Mobitel?
wireless, what?
Wireless size limit, wireless size limitation,
Size means
megahertz, SLT Mobitel connection, Wi-Fi connection.
Wi-Fi standard. I will study about the 802.11 standard. Then these are not the operator specific. They have to go with those standards. Right?
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Right. When you go to the fiber, now they provide 200 megabit per second also. Right? And also upload, I think 100 megabit per second like that. So wireless does not have such big upload speed. So that's the advantage of the fiber. Right? Okay, now you have some idea about what is this subject and why we are learning this one. Now I will come to right now suppose any wireless communication network, either personal area network or local area network, or whether it is wireless wide area network, that is the mobile network, how any device is working, right? Then they need some standard. Standards are needed, right? Now all these things are working with therefore we have to study about the standards. Now all these things are working with standards are there. Then yes, working with standards. Then you have to have some technology it is working, right? So therefore, we have to study what is the technology it is working, right? And this data is going as packets. Then you have to have some idea about the good idea about the ISO OSI 7 layers. OSI 7 layers, and also these are going as the IP packets. Therefore, you have to have a good idea about the TCP/IP protocol stack, how it is working. Right. So we will study about these things. Then the technology, wireless technology. So when you take the wireless, any device, So we are sending the information. We are sending information through the media. When you have something, okay, some information is there, you have the information. Now you want to send this information to here, right? So we have to think about how we can send it from here to here. For that one, you need a communication media. To send this one from here to here, you need a communication media, right? Communication media is just like a road. This communication media can be wired. It can be wired. It can be radio frequencies, that is wireless. This wired can be divided to two parts. Wired, that is these two parts. Copper and the fiber. Right? We have two parts. So therefore, any communication should go through a copper cable or fiber cable or radio signal, as a radio signal. Is it clear? Now we are going to study about the wireless part. But to send this information from this place to this place, you need a transmission media. Some communication link is required. It can be through copper, fiber, or this. And this going as a signal. Our information here is going as a signal to here. Right? When it is going as a signal, so it can be going as analog signal or digital signal. Analog or digital. So therefore, you should know about what is analog signal and its characteristics, digital signal and its characteristics, right? Because from here to here, it is going as a signal. This signal, if it is going through the copper cable, it is going as an electrical signal. These are very basic things, right? It is going as electric current actually. When it is going as through the fiber cable, it is going as an optical signal, right? When it is going through the free space is the transmission media, it is going as a wireless signal, right? So the signal can be going as electrical signal, optical signal, or radio signal, right? So connecting any two places, any two devices, you need a transmission media, then it is going as a signal. So whatever the things, analog or digital, it should be converted to a signal going from here to here, right? So when you take the ISO OSI 7 layers, when you take the physical layer, you have the physical layer. What the physical layer is doing is convert this data to signals. Physical layer convert your data to signals. Here it is going to the signal. So what is the signal? As I told you, electrical signal or optical signal, or it's a wireless signal. Then what is the function of the physical layer of the ISO OSI 7 layers? Convert your data to signal, right? Then it is signal going through a transmission medium. So any signal is a combination of many frequencies. So then you should have some idea about the signal analysis. You have to analyze the signal. Signal analysis. Right? So when you do the mathematical way, this analysis, you can use anybody can say how you can analyze a signal. What is the lowest frequency? What is the highest frequency? Any mathematical way? Any idea? Have you heard the word Fourier analysis? Fourier analysis?
Analog digital to conversion.
No, my question is how you analyze a signal. We have a particular signal, analog signal or digital signal. I want to find out what is the lowest frequency and what is the highest frequency. For this one, there's a mathematical model or the mathematical way that is called the Fourier analysis. Have you heard about the Fourier analysis? Okay, now we are as professionals, we have to, so you are a professional and you have to have this scientific knowledge, right? So these are basic things. Your information should go from one place to another place. To go that one, you need some transmission media. I told you what are the media. When it is going through the transmission media, it is going as electrical signal, optical signal, or radio signal. Now then we have to have some idea about the frequency bandwidth of the signal. Whether it is analog signal or digital signal, it's a combination of many frequencies. From there, it is very important to know what is the lowest frequency and what is the highest frequency. To find out it mathematically, we can use the Fourier analysis. From this one, you can find out what is the lowest frequency and what is the highest frequency. And if you know the lowest frequency, okay, this is the lowest frequency and this is the highest frequency, then this difference is called, what is this difference is called? Anybody can say?
Wavelength.
I couldn't hear you. What?
Bandwidth.
Bandwidth, yes, is frequency bandwidth. So therefore, knowing about the frequency bandwidth is very important because suppose you have a HD video signal, it needs a say 50 megabit bandwidth, right? The bandwidth, we can say the lowest frequency to highest frequency, this is related to the bit rate. Therefore, bit rate also we refer as the bandwidth. That is the normal practice, right? So, okay, I will refer the bit rate as the bandwidth, then suppose it's a very high high bandwidth signal, maybe it needs about 50 megabit per second to send it. Then we know we cannot use the wireless network because the wireless network does not have such bandwidth. Then you have to go to the fiber. So therefore, to make this decision, you need to know about the bandwidth of the signal. So therefore, we do the signal analysis and find out the frequency bandwidth. Then, then what you do is you will convert this your signal at the physical layer to this required frequency band. You have to convert it to there. To do that one, then you need a device. So your signal is here, right? It can be analog or digital signal. Then you want to convert it to signal. Then you have to convert it to this high frequency signal, right? Or the frequency band you need. To do this one, so its basic frequency band may be from 0 to 4 kilohertz. I want to put it to a required bandwidth here. All right. Okay, now this is about the signal bandwidth, right? So Now the signal bandwidth, when you are sending through the copper cable, so you are not sending only one signal from here to here. You will pack the signal. Okay, just like it's a bus. Bus have the seats. So you will give a seat to each passenger. You are not using one bus for one passenger. So therefore, when it is going through this copper cable or fiber cable, you will pack it. So that arrangement is called the multiplexing. Then you should have some idea about what is multiplexing. You multiplex the signal and send the signal from here to here. Right? So it's a fiber. Then you have to convert this signal to this fiber frequency band. You have to convert the optical signal and send to here. If it is a radio signal, it is little bit different. In the radio frequency band you are using, you have to convert your signal to the radio frequency band you use. Right? How you can do that? Now, say your voice signal, it is 0 to 4 kilohertz. 0 to 4 kilohertz. I want to convert it to 2.4 gigahertz. 2.4 gigahertz. How I can do this conversion? Right?
Amplify.
From amplifying, the signal strength will be increased.
True modulation.
It's not clear. Can you repeat?
True modulation techniques.
Yes, correct. Very good. So that is modulation. Modulation. When any wireless signal should be modulated, right? Any wireless signal should be modulated. How do you modulate if it is the analog signal, analog gate modulation methods? So what you will modulate is to modulate, you should have you should know the characteristic of signal. Signal may be like this. What are the characteristics of signal? This signal has a frequency. Signal has a frequency. This is a very simple signal. It's a sinusoidal signal. Then this signal has amplitude. The signal strength, how much energy available is dependent on the amplitude of the signal. So understand this very clearly. These are very important points. So if you want to travel a longer distance, you need more energy, right? So how much energy is available in the signal can be checked from the amplitude, right? Then another parameter of the signal is phase. We have three main parameters: frequency, amplitude, and phase. So what you do is you will change this one of these parameters when you are doing the modulation. So if it is analog signal, then you have an idea about what is analog signal, what is digital signal. We are using the amplitude modulation called the AM. If it is analog signal, we can do the frequency modulation, FM. And the phase modulation. That is called the PA, right? So if it is digital, the same parameters are modulated. Can somebody say what is the modulation methods can be used? What are the? Anybody can say?
AM, FM, and PM.
AM, FM, PM for the analog signals. Okay. For digital signals, Digital signals. ASK, amplitude shift key. FSK, these are shift key. PSK. I think everybody heard this one. No? The PSK and many versions are there. BPSK, QPSK, 16 PSK, 32 PSK. Have you heard these words?
No,
Oh,
sir. These
yeah.
are new.
Yeah, we will discuss all these things. Without these things, you cannot understand wireless because this is common for any type of wireless communication. It is a personal area network, local area network, mobile communication. These parts should be there, right? So, ASK, FSK, PSK. After modulation only, your signal can be put it to the frequency band you require. When you see a laptop, you have a network interface card there, wireless network interface card embedded to your the motherboard or the hardware inside there. So they will convert this signal to this by modulation to the required frequency band. Right? Therefore, we will study about these things in this class, and these are the basic things you require, right? So then the modulation is required, the multiplexing is required. You should know that one. Then when it is going to frequency free space, then another constraint is there. As one student said, the required frequency, how to allocate the frequency, right? So if it is your Wi-Fi network, you can use the 2.4 gigahertz. Only some small bandwidth is given, center frequency is 2.4 gigahertz. Then how we can use many devices for this frequency band? So this is one challenge we have, right? Okay, before I come into there, now this from the modulator, the device you is doing the modulation is called the modulator. And at the receive end, it is doing the reverse of that one, that is called the demodulation. You can get a very good knowledge from this subject. Don't try to just pass it. Try to get knowledge, because you can see it is not very difficult, no? So I am teaching you like the story, because I am an industry person. I have a lot of experience in this area, right? And the modulation and demodulation is normally together in one unit. It is called what? Have you normally this word you heard? Modulator and demodulator is in one unit. Can somebody say what is that?
Modem.
Modem, yes, good. It is modem, right? So we'll study about the modulators and the demodulators. Then next thing is, now you have converted to high frequency, how you can put it to the free space. The signal should go to free space, right? How it can go to free space. What is the device you use for that? Somebody says router.
Propagation techniques.
Yeah, propagation means it is moving. The meaning of the propagation is moving.
Transmitter.
The modulator is within the transmitter, right? So when you take this modulator and the device I am telling who is connected to this one, all together you can say transmitter. It's transmit, right? But to send Now up to here, normally it is coming as electrical signal. Right? Now I want to put this electric signal to free space. Yes, Gihan, you gave the correct answer. Gihan, how do you know this one? Where are you working? Gihan? We can't hear you. Right, okay. In any case, in the answer is the antenna. Okay, you need antenna here to put it to free space. Need the antenna. Then you need a modulator, then you need the antenna, right? Then you have to have some idea about the antenna. So there are many types of antenna. This antenna technology is developed very fast, and you might heard about the MIMO antenna, multi-input, multi-output antenna, smart antennas like that. So have you heard this word, MIMO? Right. So that is the device you are putting this one to the free space, right? Then it is going through the free space. Then you have to identify modulator, demodulator. When you take all these things together, you can say it's a transmitter. These are the words, new words you studied, I think. It's a transmitter. Right. So these things we should understand, and because without that knowledge, you can understand the wireless network technology. Any wireless system, you have this modulator is there inside there. Even your mobile phone, you have a modulator inside there, and you have antenna inside your mobile phone. Any wireless device, when you take even the RFID card, you have all these things. You have the modulator and the antenna inside there. So any wireless system, this part should be there. Is it clear? Any question on that one? This must be very interesting if you hear this properly. Any question?
So what about the oscillation? Is there a
Oscillation.
yeah?
Oscillation is something like vibrating.
Uh,
And oscillate means it is going here and there, oscillate. Okay?
So when you are putting out the signal into antenna, shouldn't it be oscillated to some frequency to as a signal to convert?
It's not real oscillating. So the signal is fluctuating inside there. That is, you can say oscillating. But that's not the correct explanation for the antenna. I will explain those things. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Now you can
What
ask
is
any question.
of ASK?
Yeah, we will discuss those things, right? Now, if you really listening to my lecture, the question should come to your mind. Okay, how the Bluetooth is, with the Bluetooth have this one. Now, our fridge is a smart fridge. We can remotely control that. Then how whether the fridge has this antenna and the modulator there? Right, okay. A good question asked, can be the collision of the signal in the free space? Yes, there can be collision of signals. Then we should have some technology to counterattack that, right? How we can transmit a signal, many signals without having collision. Also, can somebody receive our signal and access to that one? Yes. That is security. Then the wireless security also involved. Right. those problems are coming. Now, how we can free space, how the free space can be used by many users together, right? Then you have the multiple access technologies, multiple access technologies. So those technologies are FDMA, TDMA, CDMA, CDMA also called the spectrum technologies. So these technologies are used to send a signal without having collision through the free space. So we will study these things also. Okay, you are very good. You are asking very good questions. Yeah. And the question are the Bluetooth external devices are connecting with the limitations area distances. Yes, it's a limited distance. So the different applications are using the different techniques, right? So there are reasons why it is limited there. The transmit power and so many things are there. We'll study those things. And another question is, when you are paying for a dialog router package, we use CDMA. What is CDMA really? Yes, good question. These are things we are going to study in this subject. Right? Now you can see many words you have here. Maybe you have heard first time. Maybe you heard earlier, but you forgot these things. Right? So it's a very good question how we can send a signal through the free space without having collision, right? That we will study. Now these things we have to study them, right? So there's a security is a big problem in the wireless communication. Then the wireless security we have to study, right? Okay, any question? I would like to hear some question, then only I also feel that I am not teaching to bots. Right?
So why we need that free space?
So wireless signals are going through the free space.
Yeah.
That is their transmission medium, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's going as a radio signal. Anything is going as a radio signal. Then you have to study about the radio spectrum. Spectrum is the whole band. So the normal when you are talking also is the spectrum for the whole thing, right? So you have to study about the radio spectrum, right? Right. Another thing is now you are sending some information from here to here. If it is a computer, this side, we're going to here. So we are sending digital signals. Computer is working with digital, right? Then no problem. We are sending the digital signals through from here to here, right? So digital signals are sending 0 and 1s. 0 and 1s, right? Actually, this is going as we are representing it as electrical signal. That electrical signal you can write this. This is electrical signal. So your y-axis can be voltage or current, x-axis is time, right? So this is 1 and 0. This can be, you can say this is 0. This is 1, right? Now, there's a challenge when you are sending this signal through the phase space, actually it is going in the converted to high frequency and going through this one. When so this is a digital signal. So suppose you want to send a voice signal, a person's voice from here to here. How you can send it? First, you have to convert it to electrical signal. Voice should be converted to electrical signal, right? So using a microphone, you can convert your voice to electrical signal, right? Then you have the microphone. This is a microphone. Suppose this is the microphone. So you give voice. The person is talking. This signal is coming, voice signal is coming through the air to this microphone, right? So you might study in the physics about sounds or the dhvaniya, how the signal is going through the free space, right? So this is a mechanical signal. It's going through the free space and coming to the microphone, right? This is your mic. Then the microphone will convert it to electrical signal. When you see the pattern of the signal, this pattern is like this. This kind of signal is called what? Analog signal, right? This kind of signal is called analog signal. But nowadays, almost everything is digital. Therefore, if you want to send the signal, what you have to do is you have to convert it to digital signal. And you should know how to do the analog to digital conversion. Analog to digital conversion. That we have to study. Analog to digital conversion. Then, okay, then it will become a digital signal like this, right? Then you modulate and send it to your transmission media, either copper, fiber, radio. We are interested about the radio signals. When the signal is going through the transmission media, we have to face some challenges. One is that the signal is mixing up with the unnecessary signals. The signal is mixing up with the unnecessary signals in the free space. So unnecessary signals are called noise. Now, I am teaching to you, this is my signal. Suppose another 2-3 students also talking at the same time in this class. That is unnecessary, that is noise, right? Similarly, the signal is mixing up with the noise. Because as a result of this one, what will happen? This digital signal, this pattern can be changed, right? That pattern can be changed. Then what will happen is that this high level pattern come to low levels. Because mixing with the noise, this low level can become high level. At the receive, when this wrongly identify the signal, the 0 will be 1 and 1 is 0. This is called what? This is called an error. This is called error. Have you heard this word, error? Have you heard the error? I need your voice. Oh, yeah. Better to have some voice from time to time. Okay. Now, error is a problem for the digital signals. So therefore, what you have to do is you have to do the error correction. Error correction. Have you studied these error correction methods?
Signal issues,
Hmm?
signal connection issues, Wi-Fi connection issues.
Yeah, those things are coming with the errors. Okay, I would like to ask questions. Anupama, are you there? If you don't answer, I will consider yes.
Yes, sir.
absent. Yeah. Have you heard about errors? Error correction? Have you studied? I'm sure everybody studied about the error corrections. Okay, maybe you forget. Now, in the Ethernet frame, have you seen the word CRC?
Acknowledgement technique.
Hmm? Yeah, I could hear.
Acknowledgement techniques can be used.
Yes, acknowledgement is used for the error correction. Yes, yes. Error correction method you study now. You, for instance, the Ethernet frame, we have something called the CRC, cyclic redundancy check. That is a error correction method. And error correction also two types: forward error correction and the backward error correction. In the backward error correction, they get a acknowledgement from the other side whether they received it properly or not, right? So we should know about this error. I'm sure you studied most of the things, but just a sake of studying, you did those things. Now you can see the requirement of this thing. No? When it is signal is going through the free space, errors can be occurred. Then we have to correct the errors. Right? Is it clear? Okay. Any question up to here? Is this boring, this subject?
Definitely.
Not at all, sir.
Sir,
Hmm? Is it interesting?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm sure you are not tired. You can recall what you studied earlier. I am doing this thing very practical, right? Yeah. Now I am going to our course plan. This is the lecture plan. Can you see the lecture plan?
Yes, sir.
You can see, no? Okay. We are doing the introduction, protocols and standard OSI model, TCP/IP protocol, analog signal, digital signal, data and signal, transmission impairment. This transmission impairment, the errors come in while transmitting. Okay. When you study all these things, you will clear most of the things we discussed today. No? Okay. Then the next is the analog and digital transmission concepts, multiplexing, spectrum, transmission media characteristics. Next is the multiple access technologies, wired and wireless LAN concepts and standards. Then wireless LAN security. Then the practical applications of wireless networks, wireless sensor networks, RFID, NFC, this lecture 1. Then design wireless network implementation. Then the discussions and important aspects of designing wireless network in the mobile communication. Okay, these are the things we are going to study. Now, can you see most of the things are covered here? It's interesting, no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what are the materials we have to share? Peruzan Data Communication and Computer Networks book. Please download this book by yourself. And the Data Communication 1 and 2 books. So it is in the courseware. I will share this one in the WhatsApp also today. So these two books. I will share this book with you, Data Communication 1. Okay, this is the book, right? You can see, no? Right? Can you see the book?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Data communication fundamental, that I wrote this book, the slate, while I was working in the SLT, 2006 actually, right? Okay, you can skip these parts. ISO SI 7 layers. This 802 model OSI, how it is mapping to that one. This X.25 nowadays we are not using, those days we use. Then the TCP IP, and it is mapping to the OSI model. OSI model has 7 layers, whereas TCP/IP model has only 5 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are combined the application, session and presentation together and called the application layer. And communication fundamental analog signal. So I told you about the analog signal. So from the microphone, it is converted to electrical. Now you can read these things. It can be mixed up with the noise. So when you amplify the signal, amplification of the signal means the increase in the energy level. Energy means the amplitude, right? Yeah. You can see this book, no? Somebody says share it, so I have already shared this one. Then the digital signals and the how to convert analog signal to digital signal, sampling, quantizing, encoding. Okay. And this when you convert analog signal to digital signal, that is it's called also the encoding. And the receiver, it is decoding the signal. So the encoder, decoder together is called, or the coder and decoder together is called what is? You might heard very well this word. Coder and decoder. It's called codec. Have you heard the word codec? Everybody heard the codec, no? It is coder and
Yes.
decoder.
Yes.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yeah. Right. Then the modulation is very simple way it is explained here. Right? Digital modulation. I think these are the questions came to your mind today, no? Then the multiplexing, I told you about the multiplexing. Frequency division multiplexing, time division multiplexing. And this synchronous digital hierarchy, now we are using, but the PDH is not using now. So you can omit that part. Then this is the bandwidth of signal, transmission media. So it's any signal is a combination of many signals. And the Fourier analysis. The actual bandwidth of a media, the bandwidth of media depends on its noise level also. So that is going from the Shannon's law. This also I am sure you studied. Then the transmission media characteristics, attenuation, interference, then the transmission media guided, unguided. So these things actually the wired connection you can, if you are interested, you can study. But I am mainly doing about the wireless part. Those who are lecturers, this is very useful to you. Okay. This is the document the slit used those days actually, until recent past for the data communication. There's different frequency bands, UHF, VHF like that, what we are using. The radio system, modulator, RF converter, antenna. So what is antenna? In the signal radiation through the antenna. Typical radio system. I wrote all these things from my experience. Satellite communication. Then the data communication fundamentals also there. Okay, these are additional readings for this subject. Then this is the error control part, error detection and error correction, how to detect the error, cyclic redundancy check. Then this part you can omit. Right? This is about the lands, computer network, MAC address, LLC, these things are there. Now here, your data link is divided to another two layers, LLC and MAC layer. So this is the Ethernet frame in the wide area network, right? Okay. So everything we discussed is here, right? So your theory part, then I will share the this data communication and networking book.
So can you send that document in the chat?
The document, my data book I will share in the WhatsApp.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Now you can see it is interesting, no? Everything.
Yes.
Rather than I directly went to the theory, now you understand why we are going to study this. No? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now here what is in my books here also in details, data and signals, digital transmission, analog transmission, bandwidth utilization, multiplexing and spreading, transmission media, then the error detection and error correction, then the wireless LANs, wired LANs, wireless LANs, right? So these are the important topic to us. So if you need you can study about the network layer, transport layer, you can refresh those things. Then the security is a big area. Now I am teaching the cyber security and the network security. So this is very interesting. So, but I am not going to touch those things. You are studying these things from your other subjects, right? So we are referring this book, and from time to time I will give you the other materials of the NFC or the RF tags and the wireless sensor networks. Those things are not here, and also the mobile communication. So I will share the required information with you. So, so this is our journey, and we will try to study as much as possible. And this is just like research actually. So it is up to you to how much you will go in deep of this subject. That's up to you. but the things you are learning here will be useful to you for the whole lifetime. And you will learn how to learn also, how to, now that you study, you have done your final year projects like that. So you have done the literature review. So literature review is the gathering information as much as possible. Then you can think about what is the best thing you can use for your project. Okay? Similarly, here also you can read many things, the literature review and gain your knowledge, right? Okay. Any question? Or in the meantime, can you put your name and your student number in the chat box? And be ethical, don't put the others' numbers. I can trace those things from the Zoom actually. There are 42 students now, right? You can put it to the chat box. I will give only 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes you put, and or 2 or 3 minutes. In the meantime, if you have any question, you can ask. And also fill the Google Sheet. That is very useful to me. Any question? Is it interesting, the subject, or the boring?
This is an interesting subject module.
Okay. I'd like to ask randomly, I asked from some students your feedback today. Okay. Who is Gihan Tilakaratne?
Hello, I'm Gihan Tilakaratne.
Yes. What do you learn today? Anything new you learned today?
Yes, new things I learned.
Hmm? Hello?
Hello, yes,
Yeah.
new thing I learned.
Yeah, I would like to get your feedback today like this.
Good lecture.
Have you learned anything new today?
Yes.
What you learn? Any new thing?
Wireless networkings.
I hope you refreshed your knowledge, no? What you learned earlier, most of the things. Is that correct?
Okay.
Okay, Anupama. Who is Anupama?
I'm Anupama, sir.
Yeah. Can you give your feedback about today's lecture?
Actually, it was interesting, and I love the way you teach us without reading the slides, and you keep everything in mind and use the whiteboard. It was interesting and love it very much.
Okay, thank you. Anything, any interesting thing you learned today? One of the, maybe something I catch I did today to you? Any area?
Yes, actually, sir, I'm not much interested in the web technology, so it was very hard when I was doing my BSc. So I learned everything newly from this lecture actually.
Okay, yeah.
The way you taught us, it was easier to keep things in mind.
Okay, thank you. Then yeah, Suri Sewadi.
Yes, sir. So we learn. I think I learned many things today regarding the standards using LAN, IEEE. Those things I was not aware. So I thought I really admire the lecture today.
Okay, now we just started our journey. I explained you our map where we are going, and we have to end up where we will end up, and we have to get very good knowledge from this subject. That is the takeaway finally, right? So I will try to teach you without any burden to you, any hassle to you, just like a story. I will try to teach you, right? So there's Einstein's saying is there to teach something very simple way. You should learn it. You have to learn it very 100%. You have to understand that, right? So you have to have very good knowledge to explain very simply, right? So whatever the things you learn it properly. So that will be with you forever, right? Okay, normally I start the lecture at 8:30 and I finish the lecture at 10:15. I will give 15 minutes break you to get ready for the next lecture. Okay? Right.
I learned the never technologies from this module today lecture, today morning.
Okay, please refer these books. You can learn so many things, right? Okay. Okay, then I will end up the lecture now, right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Master.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.